heartbreaking for the families. Law enforcement officers deal with so much trauma. It should be a lot easier for them to get the help they need.
These families probably had no idea, because we didn't see it coming though with Kyle. But just all of a sudden one day, what do you mean he wants to kill himself?
4 suicides in 2 days involving former and current employees of the LA County Sheriff's Department may be shocking to most people, but not to Laura Linder, founder of the nonprofit Exclusively First Responders. After her son-in-law, Kyle Sword, at the time an LA County Sheriff's deputy, suddenly wanted to kill himself, Linder discovered a sad reality in law enforcement.
They talk about that whole brotherhood, oh yeah, everything together, but when there's one weak link, they push it out. They turn their backs. They don't call anymore, they don't show up, they're just gone.
He had told me that he was ready to die.
Michaela Sword is Kyle's wife.
I didn't know any resources, and me as a wife, I feel like that should be very known to family members. So when you see that your loved one is spiraling, you know who to reach out to. Because I also didn't know who to reach out to. I didn't want my husband to lose his job. I was a stay-at-home mom with little kids.
While seeking help, Michaela says her husband was pushed out of the department.
There are so many officers I know that have talked about committing suicide who I never thought in a million years would think about it or talk about it.
Christina Coria is a retired Santa Monica police officer who's dealt with a lot. She was struck by the car of a DUI driver and years later injured at a shootout at Santa Monica Pier.
There's so many officers out there that are struggling with their identity, with finances, with relationship issues, with addictions to pain meds, addiction to alcohol. You name it, there's so many things going on that our departments are not reaching out to them enough.
Some of the struggles for first responders include trauma on the job, lack of public support, family or financial troubles, injuries on the job, feeling of abandonment after injuries, and lack of financial compensation, lack of support from superiors, forced medical retirement, and lack of sense of self after retirement.
What they see on a daily basis, we cannot even imagine, and they can't unthink what they see.
It's sad that these officers, didn't get the help that I'm sure they wanted and were looking for.
And we learned tonight from the spokesperson for the LA County Sheriff's Department that so far this year, 8 people have died by suicide. Marla, Christine, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Very shocking news there, Gina. Thank you.
What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out on this beautiful midweek Wednesday. Doing pretty good myself. I come across this strange situation right here about these LA sheriff's officials, that dying of apparent suicide in 2 days. I've come across other stories said it was within 24 hours, but like I said, a bunch of conflicting stories here. And it makes you wonder, you understand, these strange suicides as they will have it, okay? Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said he was stunned by the deaths, which are said to be unrelated. Now, I don't know how he can get that they're unrelated, you know what I'm saying? When, how do you obtain that, you know what I'm saying, when you haven't done a full investigation on it, unless you know something that you're not telling the public. Back here last year sometime, I think it was in the summer, they had some rumors that there were actually Los Angeles, police officers that was actually in gangs. They had gangs. They had the full tats on them and everything. You know what I mean? As far as the arms go, with the little symbols, just like any other gang that you would see, in the streets. So, it makes you wonder if the devil is in the details. I'm gonna just leave it like that. Now to get into this article right here, it says Los Angeles, 4 current or former Los Angeles County Sheriff's employees were found dead Monday and Tuesday in deaths that are believed were being investigated as suicides, law enforcement sources said. The deaths are unrelated to one another, law enforcement sources said. A captain was found dead at his home in Saugus on Monday morning. Hours later, a retired deputy was found dead in the Antelope Valley. Also Monday, a jail official known as a custody assistant was found dead in the Santa Clara area, law enforcement sources said. Early Tuesday, sheriff's detectives were notified that a deputy who worked in a jail was found unresponsive at home and pronounced dead at a hospital in Pomona, the sources said. All are being investigated as deaths by suicide. But the causes of death have not been established by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office, according to the sources. You see what I mean? How do you know that these were suicides? You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, it makes you wonder. You know, I've seen movie scripts like this. You know, some officers know a little bit too much and they're in a certain clique and somebody don't want the truth to get out, and then wow, voila, here you go. You know, who knows? Goes on to say here though, the sheriff's office would not disclose their names out of respect for the families. The sheriff's department is beyond saddened to learn of the deaths involving 4 LASD employees, 1 retired and 3 current members of the department. It said in a statement, "We are stunned to learn of these deaths, and it has sent shockwaves of emotions throughout the department as we try and cope with the loss of not just 1, but 4 beloved active and retired members of our department family," Sheriff Robert Luna said. Okay, and it goes on with the suicide spiel down there. If you know anybody in crisis or what have you, you know, text 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline or chat, you know, at 988lifeline.org. You can also visit speakingofsuicide.com resources for additional support. Okay, that's what it says. If you know somebody that's, you know, in a suicide crisis or what have you. But like I said, man, look, if it's not something nefarious in this nature, you know, of these particular suicides within a 24-hour or 2-day span, I'm gonna just say this: there is no such thing as a sociopath. That word is a lie, because everything that's considered a human being has a conscience. Okay, I don't care how cold they, you know, pretend to be or whatever. Somewhere down the line, the dirt that you do is going to catch up with your conscience, and when it does, hey, ain't no telling what might happen. That's another thing I want to throw out there. So when you do, you know, a lot of dirty things to other people out there, hey, bogs down the conscience. You're just stacking bricks on top of your conscience, and then when it gets too heavy, the load gets too heavy, first thing you want to do is dump them off. What way do you do that when you have nowhere to turn and nobody to talk to? Bad situation to be in. That's all I know. I'm going to just leave it like that. People, tell me what you think about this particular situation right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. People, please remember to live your life as though we are being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.